2015 Demo Day, Dream Adventures. All right, everybody settle in. We're going to get started real quick here. But I want to take you back about 8 years ago. In 2007, I was driving a Get Out the Word, Get Out the Vote van for this guy right here. And about 2 or 3 weeks later, he won the primary, the Democratic primary in Philadelphia in 2007. And I called my co-founder at Recycle Bank, and he said, "Why are you so excited?" I said, "Because I think we finally have somebody who's really going to support entrepreneurs. We have a friend in the government who's going to support entrepreneurs, and certainly did for Recycle Bank and hundreds of other companies here in Philadelphia. Everything from Nerd Street to Startup PHL to pretty much every to DreamIt. Been a big fan of DreamIt, big friend of DreamIt, and every possible opening of a new startup in town." And I'll let you list your accomplishments, but thank you so much for coming, and say a few words, please. Thank you.
Thank you. This should be interesting. Patrick, thank you very, very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Sorry about the rain, but some entrepreneur in this room is going to figure out how to deal with that issue going forward. I'd like to invest in that company, and we will make millions. But until then, we will have rain in Philadelphia. It's supposed to clear up later on today. Patrick, David, Bookspan, and all the folks here at DreamIt, and certainly in this incredible space, which has an entrepreneurial history of its own. Thank you all. Please give Patrick and David a big, big round of applause. Patrick, thanks for driving that Get Out the Vote effort. I do greatly appreciate it. One of the reasons I won. Another guy from that time is now the Chief of Staff to our Deputy Mayor for Economic Development. Luke Butler is with us, who's over in the Commerce Department and all things economic development in orientation. It's an exciting moment for us to be a part of what DreamIt is all about, and also to be a part of what you are all about. So many companies doing some really, really great things, and I want to acknowledge those companies first and foremost. Bungalow Insurance, Captain Planner, Commit Analytics, Forecaster, Igloo Homes, Leah Diagnostics, Loco, Robo, Onika Farms, Roar, and Who's Your Landlord? Please give them a big, big round of applause. A little bit of history for myself. So I'm somehow, some way got into and out of the University of Pennsylvania. Class of 79, was admitted actually to the engineering school because I wanted to be a doctor, but not necessarily a physician. What I wanted to do was become a doctor, learn all about medicine, and then start a business making the tools and equipment, diagnostics, and devices that doctors and people in the medical community would utilize. And so I've had a certain entrepreneurial spirit about me for a long, long period of time. Created a business when I was 16, still living with my parents, which they kind of didn't really know about. But my grandmother did because our rooms were next to each other. She kind of kept that quiet. So I've always had a passion for business and that kind of orientation. Came to Penn, as I mentioned, as a biomedical engineering major in the university's engineering school. Unfortunately, Chemistry 3 changed my life forever, and I realized that I was not going to be a doctor, and took a very long, tortuous path, ultimately over to the Wharton School of Business. Today, I get to be an entrepreneur in a quite different way. Now, I run a very large, old service organization. But innovation is critically important to my company. It's a $7.3 billion public service corporation with 27,000 employees of a variety of lines of business. So I have a public safety division, I have a recreation division, I have an innovation division, and a business services division, and a number of other areas of our company. If we were looked at by Forbes, we would have been the 362nd largest corporation in the United States of America a couple of years ago, and we continue to grow. Our focus is providing a high quality of service at the lowest possible cost. If we do that, we grow our market share, which has been growing every year since 2008 because our customer base has grown every year since 2008, reversing 60 years of decline in our business model. When our customers are happy, we get more customers. We don't serve them well, they will find someone else to provide the services that they get from us. And what they expect is a return on the investment that they make, by the tax dollars that they pay, in getting a high quality of service from this organization. That's what I do each and every day. And I get to do that because I have a lot of really, really smart people that I get to hire and work with and support and promote, and then unleash them to do great things like creating Startup PHL, like creating a seed fund, which is an idea that we borrowed from my good friend, Mayor Bloomberg in New York, and ultimately that $3 million of public money, matched by $3 million from Josh Koppelman and First Round Capital, is now a $6 million fund that we use to invest in startup companies here in Philadelphia. We've changed our business practice model in terms of taxation. New companies, you start with 3 new employees the first year and at least 3 the second year. You pay no taxes to the city of Philadelphia. We've changed how we tax profits here in the city as well. We've made it easier for people to grow and develop in Philadelphia. But our focus is about entrepreneurship. It's about startup. This is the great startup experiment, of course, in the United States of America. A new nation was started right here in the city of Philadelphia. And so we're focused on the same issues that you care about. We want to provide support and service for our startup community as well as a slightly more mature community. So a couple of days ago, I was at community college welcoming or congratulating the 6th graduating cohort class from the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Program. And so that's a program for companies that have been around for a little bit, but are now trying to figure out how do they grow further, many of whom are now doing business with each other. And so these opportunities are ripe here in Philadelphia. This environment is the right place, perfectly situated between, of course, the government capital of the country in Washington, D.C., and a wonderful suburb just to the north, also known as New York City. The opportunity for us to have exposure to 100+ million Americans who live no more than a day's drive from the city of Philadelphia. The access to this great city by road, by rail, by air, and port is unprecedented for most other cities in the United States of America. And so your success is critically important to our city. And so as I read the list of companies, some are from Philadelphia, some with owners or founders as far away as Singapore, it is critically important that you know that Philadelphia and the city government, Philadelphia proper and the city government stand with you and stand behind you. You are doing exactly what we have asked so many companies to do. And not to pick one, but to pick one because it's the one that I remember with a wonderfully unique story, but it is the classic Philadelphia story. Leah Diagnostics. Now, I just met them this morning. They have a wonderful product. I have no expectation to ever personally use it because of the nature of the product, but the larger point of that story is a professor at Penn with her students decide to create a company right here in the city of Philadelphia. Commercializing research is very, very important. And so when you're on the campus of the #2 NIH research grant recipient in the United States of America, and when the #1 pediatric hospital and also #1 pediatric NIH grant recipient are virtually in the same neighborhood here known as University City, and all the other research capacity here, and the 400,000 young people who get an education in the tri-state area with 101 colleges and universities, companies have increasingly come to understand that this is a place where you want to be. This is where the knowledge is. This is where the talent is. This is where the companies are. And then we, of course, want to encourage our investor community to invest in these companies. You will get not only a great return, you will put people to work, but it is also an opportunity for you to invest in a place that is a natural home for the startup community. So I'm quite well aware that there is characterized a bit of a roadshow to some other great cities with great mayors in those towns. Mayor de Blasio in New York and certainly Mayor Lee in San Francisco and my good friend in Boston. Those are wonderful cities. But there's no place like this place. No place like this place. And this is the place where you want to invest. So to the investors, as I always say, I don't ask folks to do what I'm not prepared to do. That's why we created Startup PHL. I can't ask the investment community in this city to invest in our startup companies if we're not willing as a city government to invest first as well. And so we've put our dollars on the table. I'm encouraging you. I am strongly, passionately encouraging you. If you can get money out of New York, fantastic. You can get some from Boston, I think that's wonderful. San Francisco, great city, wonderful place to be. But this is Philadelphia. And you're in Philadelphia. And you will benefit from Philadelphia. And so I want to encourage our investor community to also step up. With these 10 companies and others who have been through this program, you will do incredible things here in this city, the birthplace of freedom, liberty, and democracy, the great startup town, a city of first of virtually every major thing that's happened in the United States of America. First hospital, first zoo, first this, first that, and you want to be one of the first to invest in many of these companies as they go on to do great things here in Philadelphia and across the United States of America. So I want to make sure that I've not been too subtle in my approach. Invest in these companies, if you didn't hear any of the other stuff. Some great firms here, some great entrepreneurs, not only here this morning, but all across certainly the city and the region. And to those of you who are not from Philadelphia or not presently based in Philadelphia, lastly, I do want to encourage you, if you're out in the suburban area or if you're halfway around the world for some particular reason, you can find a great home here in the city of Philadelphia. We've hired folks specifically in our Commerce Department to focus on international business and local business attraction and retention. As I mentioned, Luke Butler's here from the Commerce Department, Chief of Staff to the Deputy Mayor for Economic Development. He is someone that you want to meet and talk to. And as we talk about opening gateway offices or opening a second office or opening an office on the East Coast or in the United States or whatever your circumstance may be, our folks can work with you. And we're increasingly seeing more and more companies wanting to expand, wanting to grow, wanting to start, stay, and grow their business right here in the city of Philadelphia. So with that, I'm excited, obviously, to be here with you. I know you have a bit of a program that you need to go through, but welcome for some of you to the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, our place known as Philadelphia. Let's dream it. Thank you.